Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how to create a cool animated background. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously create a new document, and I'll click OK. There we go. So now I want to add a new layer, so I'll click new layer icon, and I'm going to set my default colors, and so I've got black and white. I'll just fill with any color, and now I'm just going to filter, and I want to add some clouds, so I'm going to render some clouds, and in this case different clouds, I think. So let's apply it again and again, and let's see again to see if I can come up with a cool one. Yeah, I like this one, very cool. So there you go. So now what I want to do is right here I want to right click and convert to smart object, and I want to click right here on the icon, because I want to edit the smart object. So double click, and as you can see now we have right here on top layer 1.psb, which is the smart object. So what I want to do now, I want to use the crop tool because I want to expand the canvas size. So I'm just going to drag from top like so, and yeah, I'm happy with this, and I'll accept the changes. And because I want to convert this to another smart object, if I just right click and convert to smart object, it will crop, as you can see, it will crop the transparent pixels. So what I want to do is I want to add a new layer in here. So I'm going to add a new layer beneath this layer 1. So I'm going to hold Control or Command on the Mac and click new layer icon, and as you can see, one layer beneath, and I'm just going to fill that with white. And now I can shift click the top layer, so I've got both selected, and now I can convert to smart object. So let's open up the smart object again, and as you can see, maintain the expanded canvas as I wanted, so I can get rid of the white, and very cool. So now what do I want? I want to animate this, so I'm going to open my timeline, going to Window, Timeline, or if you're using a earlier version of Photoshop, it will be under Animation. So Timeline, create video timeline, yes please, thank you. And I'm just going to zoom out so I can see what I'm doing. And right here where it says layer 1, I'm just going to click this icon right here, and I want to add animate the position of these clouds. So I'm just going to click the stopwatch right here next to position, and I'm going to move this all the way to the end of my working space. I'm going to select my move tool, and I'm just going to drag up. I'm going to hold shift so it maintains exactly a proper vertical, and there we go. So now if I click play, you can see it's animating. How cool is that? So I'll close, and I need to change, I want to save the changes, so there we go. I'm going to hide timeline for now, and as you can see, I've got it just exactly like the other one, but it's a smart object within the smart object, and as you can see, it's moving. Very cool. So as you can see, it moves, but I want to do something even better. So what I'm going to do is I want to go into image, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to click OK, and basically just created a copy of the other document. And I want to rasterize, so I'm going to right click rasterize layer, and I'm just going to fill with any color. So what I want to do now is I want to go to filter, and I'm going to render clouds. Actually I like that, pretty cool, yeah. And I'm going just to add a bit of blur, so I'm going to blur, Gaussian blur, something like so. Click OK, and I'm going just to add some levels to it, so I'm going to image adjustments, levels, and I'm going just to bring this slider like so, and this slider like so, and I'm happy with this. So what I want to do is I want to save this, because I'm going to be using this as a displacement map. So I'm going to save as, I'm going to save in my desktop, and I'm going to displacement. But as you can see, the format right here, it's very important that you use it as a Photoshop, so a PSD file. I'll click save, and there you go. So let's get rid of that. So what I want to do now is I want to distort this layer based on the displacement map I just created. So I'm just going to filter, distort, displace, and displace dialog box doesn't explain much, but basically what it does is it's how much you want to display in horizontal or vertical. So I want to displace horizontal, I don't know, probably 50, vertical I'll stick with 10 and see how it will look. So I'll click OK, and now it shows me right here which file I want to use as a displacement, and obviously it will be the file I just created. So I'll select that, click open, and now it's applying the filter to it. So if we press play, it's rendering, it's trying to render, and yes, I can see some movement. So what I want to do is I want to apply once again the same filter. So I'm going to filter, distort, displace, and I'm going just vertical, I'm going to do 50, and I'll leave the horizontal at 50 as well. So I'll click OK, once again select displacement, click open, and as you can see now looks better, much better. So this is before and this is after. Very cool. So when we press play, we can see that it's rendering. It will take a bit of time because with my recording software as well, and it's not much happening. So let's see if you can see a bit. As you can see, it shows a bit of the effect, but I'm not done yet. So I'm going just to move this back to 0. I'm going to click close and save this. So as you can see now, nothing is here. Well, you're wrong, there's something here, and I'm going to zoom out, and as you can see, this is where we were. So I'm going to create a new video timeline. I'm going to click on this triangle, and what I want is I want to click the transform like so, and just move this all the way up like so. And I'm going to the end of my working space in the timeline, and nothing happens. Well, because now it's all the way up, because as you remember, on the first smart object it was from bottom to top. So I'm just going to drag down like so. There we go. So we can hit play. Let's zoom in so you can see what's happening. So let's, it may take a while to render, so just bear with me a couple of seconds. But as you can see, it's moving just inside this box. So as you can see, we have like some white showing here. So what we want to do is I want to transform this. So I'm going to zoom out a bit. I'm going to Control T to free transform, and I want to make it bigger so it actually shows no white areas, something like so. Let's make it a bit bigger to make sure, better safe than sorry. So I'll click OK. I'm going to the end of my working area, a bit more, come on, there we go. And I want to Control T once again, 20 on a Mac, and I'm going to make it a bit bigger so it doesn't show any white of the background. So there you go. So I'm just going to take all the way down, and now I'm dragging just to see if it helps a bit with render. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And let's see what we've got here. So as you can see, started rendering. I'm just going to drag so you'll see what I mean. And as you can see, it's moving like so. So I'm just going to bring down again. And I'm going to leave it like this for a couple of seconds. This way you'll see a bit more how smooth this actually is. And I'm going to stop so you can see the idea. So this is the idea. But well, it would be nice to have some color in here. So well, you know, there are many ways you can add color in here. So what I found pretty cool is, because if you add a layer style, so right here we're going to click stopwatch next to style, we can add a layer style. So you can click on FX icon right here on the bottom. I'm just going to cancel so you see, and it gives you the options, or you can just double click on empty space on this layer like so. And let's go for color overlay. Let's say we like red, and we overlay. Wow, it looks quite cool. I'll click OK. So let's say I want further in time, I want to add a different color. So I'm just going to double click again, color overlay, and let's say now I want to add blue. I'll click OK. Let's say we want to change it afterwards for another color. We go to get color overlay, change the other one, and let's say something like so. I'll click OK, and then just move to the last point in this working area, and let's add a different color. So let's go for, I don't know, let's go for a something like this. Probably a bit too strong, just lower slightly the opacity. Click OK, and as you can see, because we clicked first, we added a keyframe. Every time I move and I change the effects, the layer styles, adds a new keyframe. So very, very cool. So let's click play to start rendering. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's happening. And bear in mind, because this is smart object inside smart object of inside smart object, it takes longer to render. That's why I have a small file size, but probably should be smaller. But as you can see, it's animating quite cool. This is one of the kind of a preset in After Effects. So in here, as you can see, you don't need to get After Effects, create a cool background. I will do a full render, and then I'll post it on my Facebook page so you can take a look at it with the full render and see how it looks. That's it for now. I hope you liked it and have lots of fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.